Hey brothers and the occasional sister. Speaking of the occasional sister, there she goes, filling all the holes. We're trying to get my garden bird proof. Beans, more beans, little cauliflower, corns. Tell me guys, what is shredding my corns? Is it the birds? What do you reckon it is, honey? The birds shredding the corns?
I think so.
Yeah. So we've got a war against the sparrows, and that's why we're filling every hole in the net. And painfully, Judy's been going along with catgut, finding every small hole. This massive raised bed that goes right down to there, all of that is filled with 5 massive big bales of baitage, you know, the big ones underneath, and then dirt that comes from down the gully, silt. More beans here. Got some courgettes. And this is the remaining dirt that came out of the gully. Courgettes is what you want to plant if you're a young student, because these will just give you food again and again. I'm going to keep on working while I'm talking, guys, because I don't have enough hours in a day, and I make 2 videos on this channel, and today I also made a Patreon video for the other channel. But I want to address one thing that's really, really important, and that is the disease, and it is a disease. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain caused by any number of things. Depression, because a lot of my brothers have the black dog, and I want to give you my 2 cents worth. Remember, nothing I say is backed by true science all the time. They're just ideas and concepts from what I've seen in my own life. You really need to do the full research and look at the long clinical trials with the hard endpoints. Unless I'm talking about diet with heart disease, that I can put the links below. But as far as depression goes, I'm only going off my own experiences. So it's a bit of a stigma that's been sort of dealt with. Like, we can now talk about it, and it's not like it used to be, through legends like John Kerwin in New Zealand, and that bloke King, who's just bloody brilliant, just Gumboot Friday, and a whole bunch of other good bastards that have opened up and made it something that we can talk about and share. But the problem is this: we get told a lot, you've got to speak about your feelings, but that just doesn't work, and it's not easy quite often, because what happens is that us men, often when we talk about our feelings, we actually get persecuted. That's right. Do you know that a lot of divorce happens after men suffer bouts of depression or have serious illnesses like cancer or heart disease, and that's often when women bail. So it's no surprise that blokes don't want to talk about it, is it? And that's one thing us men do, is we tend to suffer in silence, but that shouldn't be the case. Now, what I want to say to you blokes that are suffering the black dog is you don't necessarily have to spill your guts to all your mates or to your girlfriend or to your wife. If you want to be staunch, be staunch. But understand that you've got a disease process and you need help. You need help just like someone who's got cancer, or someone who's got diabetes type 2, or someone who's dealing with any number of diseases, any number of chemical diseases, because they are chemical. They're either caused by inflammation or toxins or stress or trauma you've had, or a bad unhealthy thought process that's created that chemical imbalance. Could even be something as simple as just getting your sleep pattern right. So what you do need to do is you need to talk to somebody professionally. You need to go and see your GP and say, I need help, I've had dark thoughts, I'm not well. Don't just keep on battling away by yourself. Now, I've got friends and I've got family, and if you're watching this right now, I say the same to you too. It's very easy to talk about, but hard to do. Have I had depression? Hell yes. How did I get depression myself? I got it because I had a cortisone injection for hay fever. And I went from one moment to the next, and bang, just like that, the day became horrible. I couldn't believe it. The simple things that used to bring me joy just no longer brought me joy. I was in a darkness. I woke in the morning, I couldn't even think of a reason to get out of bed. And nothing made me feel happy. And I couldn't believe that there could be joy again in my life. It was just like every day, it was just like, and it went on and on. I couldn't do the most simple tasks, like paying a bill. I couldn't make a video like this. I couldn't articulate myself. I was in bed and it was like, they gave me an injection in the shoulder for hay fever, and boom. I didn't even know what was going on. And I ended up going and seeing a doctor, and then the doctor sent me to a psychiatrist, and I was an outpatient for the day, and I felt like I was a weirdo. And I thought, what's become of me? But you know what? it was a really good lesson because it taught me empathy. It taught me compassion for my brothers, because some of you out there suffer on a daily basis, and I just can't imagine how hard that is for you. I just can't imagine what it's like to not be able to get up and go and dig your garden, or take your dogs for a run, or spend time with your children. God, those of you that suffer depression and have children, the most joy that I have in my life is my children, and to not be able to do stuff with my kids. So I feel for you guys, but there's all sorts of advice out there, and it's all good and well, but if you're actually stuck in that deep, dark hole, it's very hard to motivate to just get on the phone and ring your GP and say, hey, I need to make an appointment and talk about it. It's difficult. Now, isn't that interesting? A lot of women leave their men when they suffer depression. Isn't that interesting? Why would that be? Maybe that's a survival mechanism for them. Maybe it's that because they have to have you strong all the time. And maybe deep down we know that. That's why men just don't reach out a lot of the time. I don't know. Oh man, these bloody dock roots are so fucking deep. They go down so deep. And you've got to get the bastards out, because if you don't, you know what? They just grow back up again. And it's no good. You've got to get them right down at the very ground root. Go right down deep, so you've got to dig a... That's no good. That'll grow dock again. So my message today to brothers is, if you're struggling, if you're swimming, get professional help. Talk to your GP and say, I need help. Don't just take a medication either. Oh, the rain's coming. Good, we need the rain. The medication is a tool for you to get your life back on track and sort out the causation of it. Any disease has a cause, and if you can solve that, then some things it's easy to say and hard to do. Like, say your causation, say you were severely traumatized as a child or abused, and you can't have any validation from your abuser. One of the things that has helped a lot of men that I help is guys talking in groups. So you suddenly realise that you're not alone in this, and that's a good start, just to get in a group of men and share. It might sound a bit airy-fairy, but it's proven to work well for people with drug problems, gambling problems, alcohol problems. And oh, this rain's coming down. We'll get some rain there, Julie. Here comes the rain again. I said rain on my window always makes me smile, and you by my side makes life worthwhile. Anyway, he's singing in the rain. I want to get these roots out. I want to get them out. Take note from what I'm saying, guys, if you are in a dark place, because you're worthy. The world needs you, and even though you might not think it right now, someone somewhere loves you and cares about you, even if you don't care about yourself. And no man is an island, as the poem goes. And if one man goes, then the continent, the peace breaks off, and we're all lesser for it. I'm not going to get these roots out before this rain completely saturates me. So right now I'm wearing this vest that young Damo, who I looked after, and Damo, he lived here. My patrons pay for this. Check it out, that little batch right there. He lived in that, and when Damo came here, he had a drug problem, an alcohol problem, a shit food problem, and today he's the most beautiful man, in the sense of a bloke that's got real mana and took control of his life, and he's a cool dude. And I'm proud of him. And he did a lot of work himself, and he reached out, and he used to have a group he used to go to every Tuesday. He wouldn't mind me telling you this. And he not only helped himself through that, but he also helped the men that were in the group. So being in a group is a good idea. It's a good thing to do. Oh, I'm really glad we're getting this rain. Not sure how long I'm filming for. What I'm going to do before I go, though, is I'm going to put some stuff in here. I think there's another root there. We've got to get those roots out, because we don't want those bastards coming up. It's a really good time to plant when the rain's coming down, though. I say to my children when they were students that this is a great plant to grow, because you haven't got a lot of money when you're a student. And having courgettes, once they start growing, they're prolific, and you end up with an abundance amount of food to eat. And they may not be the most nutrient dense or rich plant, but they're a good start. Certainly a lot better than eating bread or pasta or anything like that. So putting these in the ground is not a bad idea. And because we're hopefully bird free now, I can put these in and hopefully we do okay. Time will tell. I bought these from the warehouse only to find there was a place down the road that was half the price and their plants were better. So just smashing that in like this. Normally I'd water it in, but the rain's going to come down and these guys are going to grow really well. And this silt, this has got all the good stuff in it, which out of the bottom of the gully, so that'll grow really well there. The other thing I'm going to plant is and if you're in Nelson you want to grow this too, actually South Island, is pumpkins, because pumpkins are going to be in short supply, and it's good to have pumpkins. I'm going to put pumpkins on here on this hill, and I'm also going to plant some watermelon as well. Oops, I'll put this down here like that, there, and then plant this around it. Or place this around, not plant it around it. How about that? Look pretty good. Put a little bit of dirt, let's break it around it nice and bright. It's beautiful soil this. It's a mixture of all sorts of stuff, and there'll be lots of just natural good stuff in there. And hopefully there's no pests that come in here and chew it off. I don't like using slug baits, I don't like using that deerest dust, but I think this year for my broccolis and my brassicas, I think that is exactly what I'm going to do, because they shred your plants. One thing is that sparrows destroy your plants. Anyway, today's Bro Trek Club was about the black dog. I'll take my phone out of here. I want to put these guys in too before I go. They're also warehouse jobbies. They are looking pretty worse for wear, bits missing off them. Cucumber. These are called Dad's Delight. Hard case, eh? Dad's Delight. Well, hopefully the Dad's Delight are going to, geez, hope they're going to be alright. This one's only got one main leaf, the other one broke off. They're not that flash. Got those in, and a couple of gold courgettes. I want some green ones too. I want to finish this video up, brothers, by saying I'm pleading with any of you that are struggling. I'll take my hat off. I'm pleading, if you are having dark thoughts of self-harm or taking your own life and you're really in a bad place, or even if you're just not 100%, talk to your doctor and ask to see if you can get some help. Find a group of men to talk to about it. You don't necessarily have to share it with your close mates like we're told, or to your spouse. Not necessarily always that case. That might be too difficult, but talking to someone that you're emotionally connected to can sometimes be a lot easier. Or if you do have a close mate that you really trust, or your spouse that you really trust, and you know that it's not going to backfire, then by all means open up. But I can understand if you don't, because so often I talk to guys that come to me from a neutral aspect and say, man, I'm just can't talk to my mates about this. I can talk to you, Clay, because I feel that this is a safe place and you're not judging me, and I'm certainly not, because I've had 2 disease processes myself, and I know what it's like also to be in a place where the pain is so much, where you want to put an end to it. Been there, done that. Yep. I got children, so I'm still here, and thank God, because I'm having a good life and I love life. But I've had physical pain that was so bad, and I don't differentiate at all. So if you're in that place, it's emotional pain, mental pain, spiritual pain, any sort of pain, and it's just too much, there is a way through. But you will need, if you've got a clinical depression, you will need to get some professional advice. So please talk to your GP and say, I need help, I'm struggling, I'm swimming, and be honest about the thoughts you've had. Say, I've had thoughts of self-harm or worse, and then you can get the appropriate help, hopefully. Now, our hospital system, our DHB here in Nelson is shocking, and it's not their fault. They're just understaffed and there's not enough resources. So sometimes you've got to keep on pushing your own barrow. Sometimes you've got to actually do a lot more work yourself, and that's difficult if you've got something like the black dog, if you've got that clinical depression, and that's where you just might need to make a lot more noise. But if you say I've had thoughts of ending my own life, the team will generally they jump in pretty quick. it's not something you can totally rely on. Those that get through those dark moments, that really do survive, most of them are people who take responsibility, and at some stage you will have to take responsibility for it. But if you're in a really bad place, you'll just need some help until then, and that's where medication can be good. That's where a GP can be good. That's where a psychiatrist can be good, or a psychologist, or somebody that gives a shit. And then once you start to get back on your feet, you can take charge of your life again, and you'll look back and you'll think, geez, I can't believe life was so bad at one time. Here I am today, and I'm happy again. And maybe your wife left you, or your girlfriend left you, and down the track you find you've got somebody new in your life that's making life joyful again, and those joyful things are happening. Right, it's raining, so I'm going to go inside and actually do some editing for my other channel, the Clay Tool Stories channel, and put out a they get a snap vlog every Thursday. It's in depth. Go steady, check on a brother, check on yourself, and I'll probably do a video in the morning. Right now I'm putting 2 out each day on the Bro Check Club because I can pick up the phone. It's no sweat at all. Please, as I said before, if you're in a bad place, just make that phone. Get on the phone, even if you're doing it on autopilot without any feeling about it, and make an appointment for your doctor. Hopefully you're not in that place. Hopefully life is treating you well. See you in the next video. See you later.